Hi, I'm Frankie Mazzapica. I hope you enjoy the video that you're about to see. It's our desire that at the conclusion of this video, you will have a heightened expectation of the plan of God for your life.
People who are unhealthy, they're unhealthy. When they look in the mirror, they don't like what they see. They don't like pictures. They can't stand selfies. They don't like seeing themselves, and they don't want to look in the mirror. But people like that tend to have virtues that they're proud of. Virtues like character, integrity. They're consistent, they're faithful. They're proud of those. And they find their identity in those. The other group of people, there's lots of groups, so we're just talking about two. The people that look in the mirror and they kind of like what they see and they love selfies. They love selfies. But those people take great pride in what they see, but not so much in their virtues. And they feel bad about it. They don't pray as much as they should do. They don't go to the church as much. Or they're not honest. They're kind of fake. And they know that in their heart. It's hard. And so what the enemy does is he looks at the people that don't like what they see in the mirror, but they do have confidence in their virtues, and so they pick at what they see. Look at you, look at you, look at you, look at you. You're out of shape. Look at you, you're out of shape. Look at you, look at you, you look at you. Look at you, pop, 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 and just make you feel down. But he doesn't use the same strategy with this person because they like what they see in the mirror. The only thing they say is, oh, you haven't prayed in a long time. You haven't gone to church in a long time. Who do you think you are? He tries to figure out where you're weak, and he just bangs at it and bangs at it and bangs at it and chips away and chips away and chips. It's like hitting a tree trunk at the bottom and kicking it, waiting for it to fall. He tries to figure out where you're weak. And what's interesting is that where we're weak is different for everybody. I've been speaking, teaching, preaching for about 25 years. For 22 years, I'd wake up in the middle of the night with a panic. For 22 years, I'm sorry, my Britney Spears mic is messing with me. I'd wake up in the middle of the night in a complete panic because I'd have this rolling nightmare that I'd show up to church and I'd forget my notes at home. And I'd wake up, and I'd ask my other preacher friends, do you guys have this recurring dream? They're like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. You're nuts. I'm like, man, you could have lied to me. Don't you want somebody to love you enough to lie? Like, just lie, okay? I know I'm the only one. I just say, yeah, me too. That feels nice to hear every once in a while. Throw me a bone. But nobody threw me a bone. But I was getting so tired. Then I'd sit in like a movie theater and I'd hear this little voice. That would never happen. But if you had the opportunity right now to stand up and talk to the entire movie theater for 10 minutes, could you preach anything or do you need notes? For 22 years, I asked my other pastor, my favorite preachers, preach with notes. The people that I look up to, they preach with notes. My closest friends, they preach with notes. Why is the enemy constantly after me on this? Why is the enemy after you on what you look at? Why is the enemy after you at how you look? Why is the enemy after you about your virtues? He looks and he has a unique attack for all of us. And each of us have to decide, are we going to fight this, or are we going to get our can kicked over and over and over and over and over? And if you get beat too long, you will lose heart, and you will lose hope, and you will lose faith, and you will lose intimacy. And before you know it, it's like the 5 virgins where at that point they just walk off. They're gone. This is what I'm trying to tell you today. I don't know where you're weak, but you know where you're weak. And you need to back up and say, the enemy has come in like a flood, and a flood kind of creeps up to a wall and then finds a crack and then goes through the crack. You got to look at your wall and say, how is he getting to me? How is he getting to me? And then all of a sudden, that's not going to happen anymore. And plug that hole. 3 years ago, I decided I'm going to know my stuff so well that I can't forget it. I'm going to learn it so well, I can't forget. There's a big difference between studying to learn, and then once you learn it, you study it so you can't forget it. So guess what? Every time I'm in a movie theater now, and I have that thought, what if I had to stand up and say something to everybody right now? What would I say? I whisper back, try me.
If you like that video, take a second and click the subscribe button as well as the notification bell. This way you'll always know every time we've uploaded a new video.